This is the best book you could possibly read. And I've read over 70 books in the past year, so the past 365 days, not 2025. But I still feel like I'm somewhat qualified to talk about this topic. Now, this is called The Almanac of Naval. And it's not written by Naval, it's actually written by Eric Jorgensen or Jorgensen. And so the big proponent and one of the best things about this book is that it's not written for profit. A lot of books nowadays are written for profit, so they're infested with a backhanded ideal, and the author generally wants to profit. I mean, there's some things you can take from every book, yeah, but a lot of books are written for profit. This one is not. It's written by someone else. Now, just to give you a brief overview of the book. So the biggest thing you're going to get out of this is going to change the way you think about happiness completely. It's going to completely change the way you think about happiness. And it starts off by talking about getting wealthy and how being wealthy is a choice and it's a skill. And it talks a lot about leverage. And for a lot of people, leverage is something they're kind of unfamiliar with. And essentially, it's the idea that you can work a shitty job 80 hours a week. You're never going to get wealthy with that. And it's not really about how hard you work. It's about choosing the right thing to work at. Because like I said, you can work a regular job and never get rich because it's not the right thing to do. So you need a high leverage opportunity. And a lot of your life is spent weeding out all of the things that aren't that 1% opportunity that are going to get you there. So it first begins with leverage. And I want to say that this book, every single sentence in it can be digested and dissected for literally days. So I go in here and I've read this book so many fucking times. I've had this book for over a year. I got this early in my reading journey and I still open it up and I still look at pretty much every page and I find a new sentence and I'm like, it's fucking insane. And the other thing I really like is there's some really awesome graphics in here. I'm going to try to find one, but the graphics just scream exactly what he's saying. And so sometimes I'll save these graphics in here and look at this. So it's easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. I'm not sure if that's inverted on here, but there's those sprinkled all throughout that just click. And the third thing about this book is that everything is so easy to digest. So everything he says it in plain talk. So if you're a beginner reader, it's no problem. Everything he says just clicks. It just makes sense right off the bat. He's really good at conveying his ideas in the most simple terms possible. That just everything he says, even though they're super complex terms, he's talking about leverage. He's talking about happiness. I mean, these topics could be talked about in completely jumbled up randomness, which most books are. So it's not open to the average reader. This one, anyone can pick up confidently and understand everything, which I think is what makes someone a valuable teacher. If you can teach things in plain talk, that's how you know you really know it. There's no point in confusing it. So it's so easy to read. Anyone can freaking read the book. Now, this is probably the biggest thing that I've gotten from it, and I'm still dissecting the book every day, but it's the chapter on happiness. So previously, when I was pursuing business, because I like business stuff, I thought that I had to sacrifice like every piece of happiness possible to get wealth. And he essentially squashes that. And he is very, very wealthy. He's a venture capitalist investor. And so he has wealth. He has that stuff. And sure, you'll hear every now and then from people who have wealth, they get money and they're like, money didn't change anything. I'm still not happy. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Well, this talks about how happiness and really everything in life is just a skill. Now, the main core idea of this happiness that just blew my freaking mind after someone who didn't know anything about Buddhism, which it's not Buddhism, but it's a lot of it's derived from that. But it's essentially that desire is a contract that you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. So I'll say it again. Desire is a contract that you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. That blew my mind. Happiness is the space between your thoughts. So this was an intro and a good soft intro to meditation. It's not like you're reading Buddhist scripture or anything. It's a regular dude talking about how to be happy in the easiest terms possible. And like I said, everything that he says just clicks and it just makes sense immediately. I can't talk enough about this book. I could just go on and on for hours about it. Number 5, it's essentially a Bible in itself. He wouldn't accredit himself to this, but it literally covers everything from wealth to health to happiness to learning to philosophy to reading, eating. Everything is in there. It's basically a complete guide, and I look at it all the time because I can pretty much find anything in there. Now, the other thing that I've appreciated, number 6, is pretty much that throughout the book, he references where he learns things. So if he learned things from another book, he'll say it. And that's led me to go down a bunch of different rabbit holes that, because I like this book, I've been able to go where he derived his knowledge from. And then I'm just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into these topics. And all of his suggestions are really good. I mean, this guy is like, I'd listen to everything he says. And there's very few people I would, but I love this dude. Naval is awesome. So you can pretty much open this book and get anything from health, meditation, philosophy, happiness, business, and it's short and easy. It's hard to fit all of that info in such a short book. And he didn't even write it. It's just his words. So that'd be number 6. And then I'm just going to recap by spilling out some things that I really love about it. When you first get the book, you're going to pick it up and you're not going to be able to put it down. You're just not. It's one of those books where every thought flows into the next one perfectly. Everything just makes sense. So it's super beginner friendly. And even if you're not a beginner reader, like every single person should read this book. And I'm going to continue to reread it literally forever. And what I do is I grab the book, and if I don't know what to read or I don't have much time to read, I'll just literally flip open to a random page and look, it says insight meditation lets you run your brain in debug mode until you realize you're just a subroutine in a larger program. What? Then you can dissect that for hours and hours. So it really is the one-stop shop, man. You can open it up for anywhere. It's not written for profit. And every person, regardless of if they want to be an entrepreneur, they just want to be a bit happier, they want to learn about meditation, you can learn about everything in here from a guy who really is really, really genuine. So if you haven't read a single book, or even if you've read a lot of books, this is your sign to read the Almanac of Naval, and you can thank me later because this is the best book. I'm 100% convicted that whoever reads this book is going to love it, and they're going to reread it over and over and over again. So this is the one-stop shop. Get it, read it, 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 it. I'll do more book reviews too. So, peace.